Okay, so some context. Uh, we recorded this podcast in March, and it's like June now.
Uh, Same year.
Yeah, same year. And like, it's just like a pilot, I guess, pilot podcast. We might not do more episodes. I mean, I don't want to do more episodes.
I want
but
to do more episodes.
Yeah, but like you're stupid. You're gay. Stupid and gay. Yeah, that's why you want to do more episodes. I'm a straight header. You know what? I don't want to try and be funny because it's just gonna be really
Throw it in
really
the trash.
bad.
Throw it in the trash.
What?
Throw it in the trash. Throw this current recording.
You mean this record?
Throw this recording in the garbage.
Is it really that bad?
No, but that
okay.
was funny. Wink, wink.
I fucking hate. Okay, so like, we might not want to do more because I don't want to do more. But like, if it's really popular, if people like it, we're gonna do more. So like, yeah, just let us know if you enjoy this terrible podcast in the comments, I guess, or I don't know. What's going on YouTube, I guess. And I hope also we said some stupid cringy shit that may not reflect our views, and by that and by
Alex
us, I
hates
mean
America.
me. No, shut up. Okay, so like, yeah, no, we said some stupid stuff. I said some stupid stuff. It may not reflect how we are now. Whatever. Enjoy the podcast. I
probably
guess.
Stupid stuff.
Probably, but we're not gonna watch it again. Okay, it's recording. Oh, it's recording.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
Okay. I guess we can start our podcast now.
I can't believe Dragon Ball Super is over.
Oh, yeah, no, but that's not what we're here to talk about today.
Yeah, we're here to talk about Iron Man.
Yeah. Okay, so should we give the backstory here?
We were very tired at like 3 a.m. or something a couple days ago, and I can't remember who originally thought of it, but eventually Marvel Cinematic Universe films got brought up. And us, as stupid idiots, were like, wouldn't it be funny if we made a podcast about this thing that we're kind of apathetic towards, or whatever?
Yeah, and now we're doing it for reals, though.
Yeah, instead of a thing we're super enthusiastic about.
Yeah.
That's not to say I'm trying to be like I'm not trying to be like this video game is bad. I'm gonna review it, but I hate it or whatever.
No, we kind of want to.
Honestly, like half of this is just a reason for me to like kind of get caught up with the Marvel movies, like if we do the whole thing or whatever. Just because I kind of want to.
Yeah. Watch us do like 2, but like I don't know.
Yeah, we probably. I mean, this is like a pilot, basically.
Yeah, so let's talk about our first movie for.
I think we should talk about how we felt about Marvel in general before we decided to do this.
Oh yeah. Okay, so our like general Marvel opinions at the beginning, so that we compare them to how we feel after everything.
Yeah.
I don't like them. For the most part, I don't really like Marvel movies. They feel boring to me. I don't know. I just don't like how samey and bland and it's just the same quips and the same stories, and it just feels boring to me. I don't like it. I like the Guardians of movies, and I like the third Thor movie, Ragnarok. But those are the only movies I can say I genuinely enjoyed, at least before we start this.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
Well, I guess you kind of spoiled your Iron Man opinion then, but
Oh
yeah,
no,
don't go into specifics though.
Okay.
For me, I'd never considered myself a huge Marvel Cinematic Universe fan or anything, but like my disposition towards the movies would be like if I go into one, I expect a fun time. Because out of the 10 or so that I've seen casually as just a random moviegoer, I'd like go into them just expecting a fun time. And the only 2 that I think I've really came out of being like, man, that was really, really bad, was the first Thor movie. Never saw any of the sequels. and Incredible Hulk, and I barely remember Incredible Hulk. It is one of the ones that I've seen like 2 times.
Well, I can tell you right now that I think the second Thor movie is bad. Maybe I'll change my mind when we watch it again. I don't know.
Yeah, no, but
But
like the like Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man: Homecoming, first Avengers is just fanfare, but I enjoyed it. Uh, I don't know.
uh, I
They're mostly just movies that I go into and I can't really feel angry at them, even though like the characters do feel like they're like machines filled with one-liners that they planned. Like
that's
they
exactly
take
what they are.
they take breaks in between missions for like one-liner planning times, and it's like, okay, this is what you say if like Captain America's a bitch, and this is what you say if Hulk does a dumb thing. It makes a poopy in his pants or something.
I hate how like robotic the one-liners feel in these movies. To be honest,
Oh, but
I'm
I'm
just
fine.
like,
Like it's like I like it's not like a turn your brain off thing, but it's also not like an analyze thing. I don't know. It's hard for me to explain. I don't want to dismiss criticism for these movies as like just don't take it seriously, man. But like I really just go into
right though.
I really just go into Marvel movies expecting a fun time. Like that's
My
just,
I guess the thing is I just don't have fun with them because I kind of expect everything. They're just not fun to me. And like I can get why someone would have fun with them, but they just feel kind of boring to me. Uh, like I don't hate them. I don't hate them with a passion, but I don't really like them at all. But that's just my opinion going into this. Who knows? Maybe I'll end up being like, you know what, they're actually really great movies. But we'll see. I
well,
don't know.
let's give our general opinions on the Iron Man. Then
Okay.
I guess not like
Uh,
just like it, dislike it, whatever.
no, okay. I actually kind of liked it, to be honest. I actually thoroughly enjoyed that, which I was not expecting to at
Oh,
all.
that's pretty cool. You better not be joking with me.
I'm not, trust me. I actually did like it. Um, I was surprised, honestly, because I mean, I thought that like, oh, the Marvel movies are just boring now because they started to use the same formula and they just feel the same now. But no, they actually just got worse. Um,
But
Iron
you
Man's
don't
actually a good
know. Maybe
movie.
your opinion will change on that. You don't
It,
know.
it will, but I'm giving my opinions now. Uh, so we can
Yeah.
compare them. I can either look back and go, "I was right all along, HD, you fool," or no, I actually am just a stupid idiot. So we'll see. We'll see. Um,
Yeah. For
I
me,
liked it though.
oh, there's more. Sorry.
That's it. I'll just throw it out there. You can go ahead now.
Yeah. Uh, I thought it was pretty good. Uh, I still the thing I remember most about Iron Man is still the part that I think is the most well done. This movie, I mean, is the most well done, and that's the entire opening sequence. I think is really well done, and I think like, man, this is gonna be a great movie. And like it continued, and it was like, yeah, this is pretty good. And then at the end, it's like, I think this is pretty good overall.
Yeah, it seems like your opinions didn't change much throughout the movie. Uh,
It did not.
I was
I mean,
surprised.
actually, okay, wait. I have that. Like, that was an overview. I have problems with it. I'm not. This
Oh, okay, go
podcast
ahead.
isn't going to be like that bit was good, and so was that bit.
No, that would be awful. But you can go ahead.
My favorite part was the one when Iron Man shot the laser beam.
Yes. Okay, like what were your problems with it?
Oh, well, that's specific stuff that we'll get to when we go through the movie.
We don't have to structure this. You can talk about your fucking
Oh
problems
yeah,
with
I
the movie.
forgot that we decided not to do that. Okay, let's just. Well, uh, let's just. I'm just gonna go through my notes because we took notes like official people.
Okay. Go through your notes.
Uh, my first my first note is Tony freaked out, a bullet point. Uh, which I'm assuming is when the car explodes and he's flipping out.
Yeah.
This is just me taking notes to remind myself where what points in the movie happened.
Well,
Uh,
don't read through all your notes. Just look
well,
through.
the
Look.
next one is relevant because it says it has Tony saying "Give me a gun," and I don't know why, but I kind of forgot Iron Man's character for a moment. I was like, what's Tony Stark gonna do with a gun? He looks really nerd. He looks like a nerd. What's he gonna do with a gun? Then I remember that he like spends all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe like accurately shooting bad guys or with his lasers or whatever.
Okay. I have. Do I have problems with it? Oh, I hate
Just
how
also
American
just
the
to
movie
protect
is.
myself from criticism, I feel like I have to say I'm not try. This isn't. We're gonna try, but like, this is just us like doing this for our own sake. We're not trying to criticize this film professionally.
Or be like good. Uh, okay. So one thing I actually did like about it, I'll say, is that it felt riskier than later Marvel movies. Like, one thing I don't like about the later stuff is that it feels really generic and safe. But I feel like this movie was pretty different. It wasn't afraid to have an actually unlikable character as a protagonist, and it was weirdly violent compared to the later stuff. So I was surprised by that. And I was actually like, that's actually pretty cool. I can give him props for that.
What scene specifically made you go, "This is way more violent than the current stuff"?
I don't know, that part where he was like, that part where they were putting the thing in his chest. I was like, whoa, that's kind of
Oh, that
epic
was
for
actually.
Marvel.
That okay. That's what you meant. I thought you were talking about the comedy scene with Pepper.
No, not the comedy scene. I'm talking about the first part where they put it in his chest for the first time. Like, that's what I was like, wow. But like, it wasn't like, oh god, it's like R-rated violence, but it was a surprise. Also, the fact that it involves terrorists to begin with, to be honest, because I don't remember much terrorism in Marvel movies.
Starts off in a very American way.
It does. It really does. And I
remember because like we watched like the first 5 minutes of this movie together before deciding we should watch it separately and get back to each other.
Yeah.
But like I remember the first comment you made was, "This is a very American movie."
And I hate it. Yeah.
When Back in Black by AC/DC was playing with these military vans riding through Afghanistan.
That immediately irritated me, I'll be honest. It's just like, I hate this already. But no,
like I was actually one of my pleasant surprises with the movie is how much of a character turn Tony takes from being super anti like weapons, like when he sees the destruction they caused.
I like that a lot, actually. And like, again, it's cool because Marvel's like actually developing the characters and changing them around a bit. I mean, it makes more sense that they do that now because it's part of the cinematic universe and all. But like,
yeah, I
appreciate that about the movie.
You can kind of see the first major character turn, like when the car blows up and he hides behind a rock while the fighting is going on, and then his own missile comes up and blows next to him. Like,
yeah.
Like, no, I remember when that happened. I was like, it's like irony, like Iron Man or whatever. Like that's what I use.
Oh my god, why?
I actually have it written down in like iron in all caps and then a lowercase y. It's so stupid.
Oh, I hate you. No,
I was like, I can't tell if I wrote it down with the intention of like, this is gonna be so funny, or like, this is so stupid. I can talk about how stupid it is to be funny, or like some other higher, worse level of irony.
You could have just not brought it up. But okay,
but it was relevant to the thing that I thought was a cool character moment.
Okay, one thing I like about the first half of the movie is that it's really good at building tension. Like, things felt tense in that first half, and it kind of died down in the second half. But like, I don't know. I thought it was really cool how I was actually on the edge of my seat, figuratively. But
yeah, that's like, yeah. I said this earlier, but that's probably the scene I remember the clearest. So I wasn't as like suspended by the suspense as the movie would.
Which scene?
Like, no, the entire opening stuff. Like both like he gets kidnapped and he has to build the thing, and also like this guy he knows gets shot.
No, I don't remember. I didn't remember that stuff at all. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was like genuinely like, whoa, this is cool.
Have you seen this movie before?
I have. I just haven't seen it in such a long time, so I might as well it might as well be new to me.
Oh yeah, no, I just think that that's like a really cool origin for the Iron Man suit.
Oh no, I think it is too. Um, and it was interesting. And I was surprised by that because I was going in this movie fully expecting to be bored out of my mind because I was like, ugh, it's a Marvel movie. It's 2 hours long, and I'm gonna sit here and watch it. And I'm gonna hate every second of it. But no, it's pretty cool. I think
Yeah,
it's good.
Marvel like this seems like kind of a big risk for Marvel, like to have this
It does.
the big movie or whatever to start their
Yeah,
thing with.
like their big first movie, they didn't do something safe. They did something kind of out there, comparative
Because
compared to what they're
you
doing.
know, based on the scene at the end, that they were planning a cinematic universe.
Exactly.
That's actually probably so. Like since we're not going in order, I can just talk about like the Nick Fury scene at the end, right?
Of
Uh,
course.
so like Nick Fury shows up and he says, "You've become a part of a bigger universe." And did we all think of the same thing at that moment?
I know I did.
Like
I know I
the
did.
Marvel Cinematic Universe or whatever.
That's what I thought of.
Yeah,
That's the first thing.
everybody will think of the same quip or whatever for that scene, but it's so like looking back at it, it's kind of weird actually that that was the big tease.
They knew what they were doing, but it's very to me it's just very, very weird. This is the first movie they chose to be like their movie to start off with, like because it's
Incredible
more
Hulk
grounded
is
than the other
next,
movies.
right?
Yeah, unfortunately. I like how grounded this movie is compared to the other stuff, though. To be honest, because like they go into space and stuff, and they go in like crazy worlds, but this movie
Oh
was
yeah,
pretty grounded for the
like
most part.
like in the stratosphere.
No, I mean I'm talking about other movies. Like they go
Oh
crazy
okay, no,
places,
I thought you were
but
talking
here,
about this movie.
no, that's like the farthest they go here. Um, but like I
Oh,
don't know. I just thought it was cool.
you reminded me of a thing that I found funny about the movie that it didn't want me to find funny, and I don't know if you can consider because I said I have problems with this movie, but this mostly just things that I find funny that aren't intended to be funny. Uh,
Yeah.
like how how blatantly obvious it is that the white-haired guy is the villain, like the old guy. Like like literally he's standing next to Tony, puffing a big cartoon cigar, and like
No, I thought that was
Tony,
really
we
funny.
gotta go with the business weapon plan, Tony.
Oh no, I thought that was hilarious.
He's like a big cigar villain. It's funny.
I just love the cigar, honestly, because I was just like, wow, they did
Yeah,
not
it was
try to
like
hide that at
I
all.
was like, man, I knew this guy is the villain because I've seen the movie before, but would it be apparent to me? And then the scene where he's like puffing cigar smoke to the side happens, and it's like, no, I would totally be able to figure it out if I didn't watch this movie like
Oh yeah,
a year
totally.
or two ago.
No, it's like my favorite unintentionally hilarious part was like when that lady is watching the video with the terrorists, and then she's like, it's like a foreign language, right? She doesn't understand it, so she just clicks this button that says translate, and then like the guy speaking a foreign language just suddenly turns into perfect English.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just
but that's like comic book logic. That's like in CSI with like enhance
yeah, but it
or
made
whatever.
me laugh. I
No,
thought it
yeah,
was
it is fun.
hilarious.
Enhance is funny, so I was okay with that. I was mainly
Oh,
talking about like most of what I consider flaws in the movie is just dumb stuff I found funny or whatever. Which,
I
you
don't
know,
consider.
honestly, I shouldn't even consider that flaws. I didn't view this movie too critically.
Yeah, I don't see dumb stuff like that as like huge flaws, especially not in a dumb action movie. Like whatever. Like I don't care about plot, tiny little plot holes or tiny little like conveniences because it's a dumb action movie.
Yeah,
I think if it
you the one thing. No, oh, sorry. You can finish your thought.
I think as long as the movie does its job of just providing a fun and entertaining experience, then I don't really care about tiny things like that because
Yeah, and this is definitely a
it's not supposed to
popcorn
have
movie.
like oh totally, and it's not supposed to have like a super like well thought out plot. To be honest, in general, I don't care much about plots. I think I care a lot about characterization and presentation and the way a movie makes you feel watching it, but not the plot. Like the sequence of events is like the least important
Oh
thing to
yeah,
me, in my
definitely.
opinion. Like honestly, I hate it when people get so nitpicky about that. Like, oh, there was a plot hole here and there, and what's up with that? What's up? There's no inconsistencies because I don't care. Honestly,
But
it's like
Alex, But Alex, it didn't follow a 3-act structure.
I'm gonna kill you. I just like I hate that stuff so
Even
much.
though this movie probably did. I don't know. I mean, I haven't analyzed it, but it probably
Yeah, it probably did. I didn't notice. No, yeah, it did.
a lot of
Yeah,
movies just accidentally do it, and it's not a pro or a con, but I hate when
it's
people
not.
treat it like it's a rule.
Yeah, I hate that too. It's really just it is what it is. It's like saying, oh, this movie, I don't know, just like this movie has 3 male actors and 5 female actors. Is that a pro? Is that a con? It's not really either. It's just a fact about it. Um, I mean,
One can I speak about, or do you have another thing to add on to that?
I was just gonna go on a tangent about 3 act structure. You can go ahead.
It's fine. You can save that for later when we need padding.
Yes, exactly.
Uh,
Okay, go ahead.
I think I like this is like what makes or breaks. Like Iron Man is either 10 out of 10 or 7 out of 10, depending on if the scene is how I interpreted it or not. Uh, so you remember when?
Wow. Okay.
Well, okay, you'll understand when I bring this up.
All right.
Remember when Tony Stark is like watching TV and there's like some foreign people on the TV, like it's talking about like how they've been displaced from where they live or something, and he's like watching it like, man, there's injustice in the world or whatever. You remember
Yeah.
that scene?
Hmm.
And then he like goes and gets in his Iron Man suit and flies over to like around where he was kidnapped, around there.
Hmm. Yeah.
If where he was kidnapped was where was being displayed on TV, then I think it's really amazing that he saw on TV with him was like, man, fuck this injustice, and then flew over to the country where the problems were happening and then blew up some tanks and bad guys or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd love
But
it if that
like,
were that. But if it's just that, like, he was like, oh, I better go screw with those guys that kidnapped me and did whatever, like, that's still fine. But, like, man, I would love if it was just he saw it on TV and was like, oh, better just fly over to that country and fix the problems.
I think that's what it was. That's how I interpret it.
Fuck, Iron Man is
Uh,
amazing, then.
and I think it was a very satisfying scene, to be perfectly honest. Like,
That's
that
my
was a well
highlight.
handled scene. That was one of my favorite parts of the movie, to be honest. Uh,
I think it also has probably the most, if not most American cinema type thing where like he blows up, he like like blocks the like dodges the tank shell or something, or like makes, I don't remember if he blocks it or dodges it, but it's either works. And then like
yeah.
he like throws his own tiny Iron Man missile at it and then walks away, and then and then it explodes, and while he's walking away a guitar riff plays, and it's like that was a scene that
Funny,
I laughed
but
at. I laughed at that scene because it's like it's
funny. I was gonna mention that I wrote in my notes that I absolutely despise that scene. I mean that shot. I
that
mean,
was fucking hilarious.
it was. And I wrote in my notes I hated it. That's like one of the few notes I have here.
Oh
It's just I just like wrote notes about how I hate the opening song and I
no,
hate like that one scene. I just hate
no,
how it's like
that's my favorite. That's like okay. That's my favorite thing itself is just like he sees it on TV and then flies over there and like punches some people. But like
yeah.
my but like that's like one of my other highlights just because of how funny it is, but also because of how like you can't get more on the nose than does a cool thing, walks away, it explodes, and then guitar plays. Like
No, you're right. You're right. I just have like an inherent like I don't know. I just recoil in disgust every time I see something American. I guess that's just how it is for me.
no,
No,
I
it's
can
funny. It's
understand.
funny.
Yeah.
I think it is intentional, and I
No,
think they did a good job with that.
I don't think they intended for it to be funny.
It felt like it because it just felt so
I don't
ridiculous.
know. This was 2007 or 8 or something,
Yeah, you have a good point. Uh,
and like
you
people were
could have done
like
ironic.
people were
They did open on.
timing the people were timing the America Fuck Yeah song to like things unironically, even though the original version of that song was like made to parody things like
Yeah,
America
no.
itself or whatever.
Now I think about it. Now that I think about it, that probably is unironic. I mean, they did open up with an AC/DC song. Uh, but like, it
ACDC
just I don't
ACDC's
know.
all right, but all of their music is the exact same.
Uh, I disagree with the part that they're all right though. But yeah, no, it was kind of amusing how American this movie was, and how like,
Oh
it's weird
yeah.
to me. This spec, huh?
No,
Uh,
you reminded me of a very memeable image that I found early on that I pointed out to you because it was like within the part we were still watching with each
hmm
other. But
yeah.
you remember where it's like Tony Stark, visionary, and it's like showing all this cool stuff Tony's done,
Oh
and then
yeah,
it's like, and
guys like
his
looking down.
lifelong friend took over the company for him, and then it's like like a fictional time cover with his friend standing with his hands on his hips looking at a globe, and I feel like it's a combination of the fact that I like saw The Shape of Water recently, where there's a character who like a big part of their character is the fact that they pee with their hands on their hips. So I imagine him pissing on the globe, combined with like
Uh,
combined with like the Mr. Worldwide meme image. For some reason, made me find that scene really funny. Like
oh, I'll put the image up so people can know what I'm talking about. But like,
I thought this was just
she just looked
audio.
really funny to me. Oh, I'm gonna put it on YouTube. It's gonna have like, yeah, it'll have like a drawing or something, and I'll put that
All
image
right.
up next to it.
Like you'll also find the specific scene where he walks away from the tank and stuff with the guitar.
No, I was just gonna find that one picture, but you know what? Might as well. Might as well. Whatever.
Yeah,
We'll
I
see.
mean,
We'll
don't.
see.
I mean, you could just do the picture. I'm not. You don't have to edit images too.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have like one image for the whole video with like that one over on top. Okay, whatever. That's like that. Whatever, whatever. Um, I did find that funny. I did find the translate thing funny, and I hated the tank shot, but it's funny looking back. Uh, One thing I appreciate about the movie, and this is in the third act. The third act was my least favorite part of the movie, by the way. But I mean,
Uh,
like,
I mean, I liked all of it. I just think the opening scene is just like a good for a bunch of different reasons.
yeah, no, I love the first act. I think it was really well handled, and I like the second act. But like near the end, it kind of loses steam for me because it's just like, oh, it just kind of builds up into this one fight that feels a little underwhelming. But like maybe that's just me comparing it to the other Marvel movies because it's
Yeah, and
very
there's also the fact that
grounded.
a lot of the CGI, especially like the missiles being launched in near the beginning of the movie, look way more cartoony than it should. Honestly, for
Oh
some reason.
yeah, it does. It's weird. It's weird,
Like it's
honestly,
weird
because
to have the CG in a Marvel movie remind me of the CG in Spy Kids, but like
it's very weird because like you're used to them looking just kind of like, oh, it's realistic. That's what Marvel CG looks like. But like, no, it looks really awkward in this
I heard the
movie. But
CG
like,
in Black Panther was bad though, so I don't know. Maybe
I haven't seen Black Panther.
I haven't either. I just that just made me think of that.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't seen it, so I can't say. But uh, I was just really weirded out by the CG. But you know, whatever. It was 10 years ago. It's like whatever. Um, I do. I was gonna say that like I do like how grounded the climax felt compared to other Marvel movies because like you're used to them like blowing up huge cities and like doing all this crazy stuff, but like it was weird to just see these two like um robot things fighting on a street and like everyone's reacting to it in a genuine way. Like everyone's like freaking out and stuff, and it's like wow, you're just so used to seeing crowds running away and like giant
Oh yeah,
buildings being
that
destroyed.
family
But, like,
that like Tony was picking up was terrified in the
oh, they
car.
were.
No, but
They
like I mean
were, and
like
I
you
was like,
probably see
wow.
people scared in like Avengers or whatever. You probably see people scared of the aliens or whatever. But
Yeah,
like
but it's like so generic, like oh, crowds running away and then it's buildings being destroyed.
yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
We'll probably be proven wrong with like 50 scenes of families in cars in future Marvel movies or something.
no, you're probably right, but like no, to me it just felt a lot different because it didn't feel as big, but it felt like the impact just was like bigger for some reason. Cause like
Yeah, I mean there's
it
also
could,
the fact that like in Marvel nowadays the world is pretty exposed to aliens and eldritch gods from other dimensions and stuff fucking with humanity. Now it's just like oh these robots are fighting and it's otherwise normal in this reality. This is kind of weird how these mechas are fighting.
oh yeah, is Iron Man a mecha story? Not really.
I
I mean,
don't I mean like the like the antagonist thing is basically a mecha.
yeah, true, but not Iron Man, Tony Stark himself. Uh, Whatever. But yeah, no, I appreciate like I don't know, it just felt more realistic because like um because of how small it felt. Because how small it was, I guess. Because like,
Oh,
it's you kind of desensitized to seeing the whole buildings and worlds being destroyed because it's just
yeah.
like, who
Speaking,
cares? You can't really see the implications of it.
it
But
was
with
the action near the end was pretty well done, but a problem I had was like the final solution where Tony's getting like Pepper to like overload the reactor and shoot lightning into the sky or whatever. Like where Tony miraculously gets blown to the side and not affected, but like the big guy, like in the bigger suit, he gets fucked and dies and falls into the hole, but Tony's just on like the last piece of scrap metal, like hanging
oh
above it.
no, like I totally get why that would bother someone, and I was like, oh, that's stupid. But like, it didn't bother me for some reason.
I don't know. I
Like,
guess I can see. I mostly I like rewatched this scene and rewound it because I was like, wait, that like is that what happened? Because like I was confused. Like, oh, was he just like blown to the side coincidentally, and then only he got blown up? So like, was Tony prepared to die in that moment?
I think he was, but they
Oh
had him
man,
not die.
I mean, I don't think that's necessarily bad. It's just like it kind of irks me when like luck comes into it at that level. But then again, it's like it's whatever. It's whatever. It's like he would have died before then if he wasn't competent. So it's like he kind of deserves it. Whoever, whatever cares. Uh,
Yeah, you're probably right.
uh. Also, speaking of that, like Tony or whatever, I liked Tony a lot more than I thought I would because you kind of see him as like cocky or whatever, and it's like, oh, am I gonna hate him in this movie? But no, he's actually like weirdly sympathetic. Uh,
He is, especially after he gets kidnapped by terrorists or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, like, obviously the like patriotism thing, like when you hear that, and also the fact that he's like the head of a company that's like arms dealers or whatever, like you think, oh, it's just because like that's where he gets his money. Like he doesn't actually have any like personal reason to care about America, right? You know.
yeah,
But then he gets kidnapped, and he's also like shown like to be visibly concerned for this man who's helping him or whatever in the glasses from Russia, or like he's like, no,
yeah,
don't hurt him and stuff like that. And he like I don't know, it just showed like a more humane side to Tony, which was cool. And then like I was kind of like I know this guy is gonna die, like the Russian guy, because like you don't see him in future Marvel movies.
yeah,
Uh, but like when he rushed off with the gun, I thought that was gonna be the last we saw of him. But then Tony like shoots some people and comes back, and he's still there, and it's like, oh, is he gonna survive? But then like 2 seconds later, I was like, oh no, he's not, because he's like basically on his deathbed. But
oh yeah. But
like,
I
and
don't know.
then we get like a movie scene of like his last words, which I really don't like those scenes in movies where it's like they get the convenient amount of time to say their last words and then die. But like,
Yeah, that bugs me, but I'd rather have them die immediately. It's more impactful. But
yeah,
yeah,
it would be cool if he just walked out of the cave and saw the guy's corpse. That would be cool. But I also think this is cool how you see him again for the last time, because it kind of cements a weird connection between this guy that he just met and Tony, because it's like sort of the first introduction you see to like him having a more humanity to his character, I guess. And
yeah,
as he continues to go out, he's like, I saw the destruction my weapons caused or whatever. And that, I don't know, like that guy plus like the things that they were doing to the other people in the country or whatever is like, oh, this is like pretty decent motivation for Tony Stark in this movie.
yeah, yeah. And it's like, I don't know. They handled his character arc really well in this movie. I think, and it's made him sympathetic, even though he started off the movie just being awful. I don't know. I thought it was cool.
Also,
Um,
is it weird that I liked Pepper like more than I thought I would? I mean, it's not like best character ever or whatever, but
no, I liked her.
she was entertaining.
Yeah, I thought she was cool.
I think it was the comedy scene where like it was the comedy scene with her trying to take out his robot heart and him not fully filling her in on like what was happening with it while it was happening would like kind of got me to like her more.
Yeah, no, I liked that. I think I was expecting her to just be kind of there, like, oh, it's the female character, it's the female love interest, it's the female, like, when I see a woman in these movies that's just not really doing much, my initial expectation is like, oh, they're just there, I guess. But no, she's actually
No,
really cool.
she
I like
has
her.
an active role. She does the flash drive thing and the cool trick with like turning it to the desktop or whatever,
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
and like she pushes the button or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
It
I
could
thought
be.
I thought
I think it's cool how they gave that role to Pepper instead of having it just be one of the generic agent guys or like the guy who turns out to be, I forget what's that guy in the silver suit's name. I mean, like he looked at the suit and was like maybe some other time and then drove away. But like, what was he's War Machine, right? War Machine is the name of the thing.
I actually don't even remember, to be honest. I don't even
No, but
remember I don't even. Which character are you even talking about? I actually don't know.
oh, he's the black guy. But like,
Oh,
uh,
okay. Oh, okay. That guy. Yeah, War Machine. I think.
no, but like,
No, yeah.
what was I gonna say? No, but they could have had been him or like Agent Coulson. I think was the name of the guy that like would approach Pepper near the beginning, and
Oh yeah,
also
that guy.
like yeah,
No, they could have.
there were other characters that could have filled the role, but like I'm glad that they went with Pepper because it's like she has a
Yeah.
more active role in the story, anyways.
Yeah, maybe Pepper have a more active role, and it made those scenes feel like, oh, we're getting more scenes with Pepper. It's like, oh, I get to know this character better a little bit.
Yeah, and
I don't
like
know. I thought they did a good job with Pepper.
yeah, I don't know because like I never really focused on her. I never really care. Like because like I've seen all the Iron Man movies, but I barely remember them except for like the opening scene. Well, I remember one now, obviously, because I just watched it. But like before now, I only really remembered the base outline of what happened to one, and mostly just the opening scene because I remember distinctly thinking it was cool, and
Oh
like
yeah.
parts of three, and I barely remember two except for like the Whiplash guy. Uh,
Yeah. No.
but but like I don't know. I never really focused on any character that wasn't Tony because I just liked Tony or whatever. I guess that's just because I was younger and that type of character appealed
Well,
to
yeah,
me.
he's like the main character. He's like the main character, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I guess I'll
No.
probably be focusing more on the supporting cast as we go through these movies if we continue past this pilot episode.
Yeah, but I think as far as supporting characters, I think Pepper's pretty cool. Uh, I don't know about the rest, but I thought Pepper was neat. Uh,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
no,
you're
I
reminded. Oh sorry.
I don't like the antagonist that much,
Oh
but
yeah.
I'll talk about that in a bit. You can talk about what you're gonna say.
No, this is kind of involving him because in the final scene, like I was gonna segue into this like through Pepper or whatever, but we can segue into this through that. But because like when they're like we okay, we called the police, they're gonna arrest him, and then they go to his hideout, uh, and like they're looking for him, and then Pepper's just staring at chains, and then his eyes light up behind the chains, and then he comes out behind the chains or whatever. It's like
Yeah,
that felt very staged to be cool because it was behind chains. I don't know what was about that,
you
but I
know,
don't know.
you know, when I saw that, I thought it was an actual like robot and not like the guy because I thought there was no way that the guy would just be standing back there like waiting for
Yeah,
that to happen.
no, yeah, he's like this is gonna be so cool. Like I'm gonna stand behind these chains, and I bet Pepper Potts is gonna be the one that looks through.
No, that's exactly what I thought. I thought it was just like a robot that was just gonna like that he built or something, and he was like, "Oh, now the
Like
robot's
originally,
activated."
like I saw it and I was like, hey, that's a pretty cool shot with the light eyes behind the chains and he's looking at them. But then immediately after, I was like, wait, so is he waiting back there? Like, like
Yeah, no, that was really stupid, and it actually took me a bit before I could go like, "Oh wait, no, that's the guy." Wow, that's really dumb.
I
'Cause,
was
like,
no, I knew it was the guy already because I remember that part of the movie.
oh no, I was just so confused. But
I kind of
like,
find it. I
wow,
kind of
that
find it funny how like nobody on the like like on the like force the team that they sent out to arrest this guy, how nobody on that had enough like intel to know that what the original like suit looked like
oh
like
yeah,
like you remember when they like walked in and they were like, so he was building a suit and it's like the like an older version of the suit or something.
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, like, cause like the guys in the original country had the those terrorists. They had the original suit and they like rebuilt it or something. Did they give it to him or something, or was that just another model he made? Because it looked like it was like low torched together really haphazardly, so I thought it was the original, but I didn't know how it got
I don't remember. I don't remember the details.
Maybe I just misremembered.
Maybe I don't even remember, to be honest. But I was gonna talk about the antagonist, how much I dislike him.
All right. I mean, I kind of think he's funny, but
he's very, very funny. But like,
although the best thing about him is the paralysis tool he has, because that's kind of a cool piece of fictional technology.
Oh yeah, it was cool to see that used. I was like, wow, that looks scary.
Because I just thought it was like, oh, it kills you, but like, oh no, it just paralyzes you for like 15 minutes, and like, well, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I thought it killed you too, but no, it doesn't. I guess. I don't know. I don't know. It's like
Talk about Cigar Man.
He's so cartoonish. He's a cartoon character, and I was like, wow, I was not expecting him to be that lame. Like, jeez,
Tony, you don't understand business.
It was really not. It was really not as because actually, believe it or not, I was hoping that he wouldn't be terrible. Because I know Marvel movies aren't known for having great antagonists, but like,
really, only
I was kind of hoping.
Don't people like only care about Loki, like in terms of actual personality, and not like showing up for at the end of movies like Thanos?
Yeah, but like, he's like kind of the only one who's like, I don't know, he kind of flops back and forth between being a villain and not. But
Loki?
He's definitely, well, he's mostly a villain, yeah. But
in the Ragnarok I haven't seen I only saw the first Thor movie, and like I didn't go beyond that point.
I actually don't remember. I think he is a villain in Ragnarok, but he might have like occasionally helped Thor out. I don't remember.
Yeah, this is just like, this is why we need to rewatch the films.
Yes, exactly.
Or like rewatch the ones we have watched, because we probably have only watched like at max 2/3 of the movies out each or something.
Yeah, I probably watched like a third, to be honest.
But maybe I don't know how many I've watched out of the total. I just see when they're in theater.
I don't care too much. But like about like villains. Yeah, no, besides Loki, who actually has like a personality and stuff, they're just all really boring. Like all of them. Even like that Thanos, was it? I mean, he's just like there to look menacing at the end of every Marvel movie. It's really boring.
Maybe he's cooler in the comics or whatever. We're just talking about movies, I guess.
Yeah, just movies. This is the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast.
Yeah, fuck comics. Movies are the next medium.
They have been the next medium for like
since the
over
20s.
50 years at least. Yes. I mean, yeah, no, but I don't know. The villains have always just been the worst part of any Marvel movie, especially
people
say
Killmonger is good.
Killmonger, which one was that one again?
No, Black Panther villain.
Oh, okay. Well, people say lots of things about Black Panther, and I'm not inclined to trust them because people said lots of good things about lots of movies that weren't good. I don't know.
And you've been beaten down. You've been beaten down in life, haven't you?
I have. I mean, like, every time people praise a movie, I'm just like, okay. At this point, I don't even trust people because, like, people said Inside Out was really good. I wanted it to be really good.
We've talked about this like 3 times. Inside Out is good.
Yeah.
It just has like it just has kind of cruddy obviousness with when it does like the sad moment.
Yeah, that was like my least favorite part of it, but in general, I didn't like it that much. But whatever, this is a Marvel podcast, not a Pixar podcast. We should do that though, because Pixar would actually be good for the most part. But yeah,
I don't want to watch the Cars movies again.
What?
I don't want to watch
the Cars movies. No, those would be fun to like watch with a friend because you could just riff on them. But like,
we watch them alone and talk about them separate, like post it, because it's not fun to just watch movies with friends and then do a podcast where you recite the same jokes that you made together
No,
when
you're
you were watching the movie.
No, you're probably right. But like we did watch Cars in a call once, did we?
Yeah, but I don't want to regale the audience with that tale.
Oh, yeah, fair. Whatever. Talking about Iron Man and Marvel, I guess. Uh, I'm glad they didn't take the villain in this movie too seriously, because I think if they did, that would be kind of terrible. Because like they
Yeah,
take that
I wonder
really seriously, and I
with
hate it.
movies like this. I always kind of wonder, like, was he in the comics? Because like when it's an adaptation of comics, like obviously like this was mostly an original story, but like with like was that character in comics or like was that made for the movie? I'm just kind of interested. I'm gonna Google that actually. Do you remember what his name was?
All right. No, I don't remember what his name was. Well, while you Google it, I'll talk about my opinions, I guess.
All right.
So like, I guess I just don't really. I don't know. I just wish Marvel movies had better antagonists, to be honest. I mean, just yeah, I don't really need a good antagonist to have a good story, but I hate it when they put these whole scenes of them trying to be intimidating and you know, trying to make you care, but
Oh,
like
he was
they're all
in the
boring.
comics.
Oh, he was.
Well,
What's his name again?
at least with the name Ironmonger.
Ironmonger. Okay. Uh, well, I guess we'll just call him Ironmonger from now on. I don't know. You have any other stray
Apparently,
opinions you have on this
it's
movie?
several different fictional characters. So maybe this is just some guy that they made Ironmonger, and it wasn't.
Oh, no, I assumed it would be like that, to be honest. Like, oh, there's
That makes
suits in
sense.
those comics, but not the guy. Uh,
Yeah, they
do you
just
have,
they adapted the metal suit.
yeah. Do you have any other stray opinions on this movie?
It was pretty good. The sense of humor was all right. I don't know. It sets up a lot, but not like super obviously like a lot of future Marvel movies.
Yes, yes. You know what? One thing I loved about this movie compared to other stuff, like I hate the DC Cinematic Universe stuff because they're so focused on setting things up that it just becomes like, well, like where's the movie? Like I feel like Suicide Squad was like mostly set up. It's just awful.
Oh,
Um,
it's like the really continuity focused seasons of South Park where it becomes like one continuous 10 episode long episode. Like
yeah, yeah, kind of like that. It's like, um, yeah, no, I just
because
hate it
like they
because,
kind of lose their individual identities to an extent.
yeah, but like what I like about this movie is that it's a good movie first, and they throw in some setup like at the end, and like that's it. Like they make you care about Iron Man. I mean Tony Stark. They make you care about that, and they make you invested, and they make you like enjoy it. And then they add the setup, like, oh yeah, we're probably gonna do some other stuff with this.
Yeah, and like
That's
I know for a fact that like, well, outside of like Iron Man movies, War Machine, the that guy or whatever that was like maybe sometime else or whatever, he looked at the silver suit that was like Tony's like prototype for it or whatever. Like, do you
yeah,
remember? And then he drove away. Like he's like War Machine in like the other Iron Man movies and also like Civil War and some other things. So like he has relevancy and Agent Coulson is in other ones and Pepper has cameos or whatever. But like it's not like and you'll see them in the next one or whatever.
it's not. It's not like
It's
that
not
one.
okay. Well, okay, it totally is that with like War Machine, but like because he had the whole scene of looking at it or whatever. But it's like,
Yeah.
but that's not in
Like
the
that's
way I
obviously
was
set up.
talking about.
Yeah, but like no, in like DC in DC like movies, you'll have entire scenes of them discussing stuff that's gonna happen in other movies, and like entire plot threads just
Wait, in
left
DC movies?
untouched. Yes,
Oh,
and like
I thought you just misspoke or whatever.
no, and you'll have like entire like plot threads just untouched in the entire movie. Like, oh, it's gonna pick up in the next
well,
movie, but like that's not what a good movie.
just even though I sort of built on what you said earlier, I kind of want to put it out there that I don't completely agree with the whole like what I said about losing original identities of the movies themselves or whatever. I was more talking about like South Park as like a comparison to what you were saying, but like
Yeah, but like yeah,
I don't know. I
seen the
like
movie
most of the movies sort of feel like their own things.
I was talking about DC though.
Oh,
So
I thought you were talking about later Marvel movies.
no, I was talking about DC. And I mean like they just don't feel like their own movies. They just feel like bad movies that like try and set up something else. But like Marvel with these movies, these early movies, they're trying to make good movies first and then like set up and then like add extras and stuff. Like
I mean,
that scene with the whole War Machine thing was a little.
Wonder Woman was pretty good.
Yeah, Wonder Woman was good. Well, the second night, anyways. But like, I, I mean, yeah, the War Machine thing was a little blatant, but like for the most part, I feel like this movie is pretty good about like keeping the setup mostly on the side and just focusing on making a good story. I
Also,
appreciate that.
I really like when like they give him the whole cover story of like you just gotta say this and you're off free and you can be Iron and, like the Iron Man will be traced back to you or whatever. And it's like, nah, I'm Iron Man or whatever.
Yeah, I know. And like I was totally expecting it, but like
I mean, like I knew it
I-
was happening, but the scene was cooler because I remember I remember it as just like him being out there and like I'm Iron Man or whatever. But no, he just fucks up some and then it's like I'm Iron Man or whatever.
yeah, no.
And I remember during
like
that,
yeah,
I remember in the scene leading up to that scene, I was cringing really hard because it's like a bunch of layers of like dramatic irony or whatever. Like and
yeah.
a cringe comedy or like stuff like that. Like it's really hard for me to bear. So I was just making loud grunting noises from my room while I was watching it.
Really?
And
Oh no, I was.
my mom yelled up to me and asked if I was dying. And I said, no, I'm just watching a movie and there's a lot of dramatic irony in this scene or whatever. And I was like,
You could have just said.
a story I can tell on the podcast or whatever.
You could have just said no. I'm watching Iron Man. That would have been funnier.
No, I didn't want to admit I was watching Iron Man.
Why?
And then when my mom went to sleep, she was like, enjoy your Iron Man.
Oh no. I mean, like, I don't know. Whatever. That scene was just like I just like how they wrapped it up. And speaking of wrapped up, I think it's about time we wrap up this podcast. It's been almost an hour. Any
Alex.
final thoughts? What?
That was lame.
Yeah, what are you gonna do about it? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Are you have any final thoughts on Iron Man?
I'm excited for Hulk.
I'm not. Whatever. Maybe we'll watch it next week and give our thoughts on it.
It's not going to be next week.
It's probably not going to be next week. Whatever. I'm done. I'm done with this.
I have school.
What? Yeah, but the weekends though.
Oh yeah, no, I just always assume that I'm going to be super loaded with homework and I got Friday off, so I don't.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. I forgot, huh? No. Yeah, I've been in school, so it's just like whatever. Well, okay, whatever. This is the end of the podcast. Any final thoughts at all, Iron Man? No.
I gave my final Hulk thoughts.
Okay. No, it's a good movie.
It's a good
not sure.
It's a good first step forward that is
Yeah.
immediately followed by a big green tumor on the next foot.
You're right. You're right. Well, we'll talk about that next time. We'll save that for next time. This was the whatever this podcast is called podcast. We haven't named it yet.
This was the Dragon Ball Super podcast, episode 1.
Yeah, signing off. See ya.
Goodbye.
Right. All right. Yeah.
Bye.
Okay, I'll cut out these bits. I'm just gonna stop recording.
Okay, bye. Bye.
No, I'm gonna cut out everything. Don't worry.
Don't keep in the stuff after like the final goodbyes as like comedy. Like, oh, it's so unofficial. That's funny, right? Or whatever.
Oh no, that would be awful. I'm not leaving that in. Don't worry.
All right. I kind of wanted you to leave that in though because I found that funny. Like